Welcome to Inside the Workplace, the show where we explore what makes organizations tick. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of organizational behavior, or for short, OB. I'm joined by my amazing panel, Bontle, Simpio, and Tato, and we'll be unpacking what OB is, why it matters, how motivation shapes our work, the role perception plays in decision making, and why linking people to the right jobs is so important. Now, Bontle, what is organizational behavior and why does it matter?
Thanks, Mr. Kulu. Organizational behavior is the study of how people, whether individuals, teams, or entire structures, behave within a workplace. It is about understanding why we act the way we do and using that knowledge to make organizations more effective. For example, OB helps managers improve communication, boost productivity, and create a positive work environment. When employees feel understood and appreciated, they are more engaged and committed. As Robinson explains, it is about creating conditions where people and organizations can succeed together.
Exactly. So just giving it, it's practical, Like think of a manager understanding motivation as a role in their team. They can resolve conflict more effectively, encourage cooperation, will also lead people without any chaos in the building, and that's OB in action.
Thank you, Simpio, for explaining such a broader picture of what organizational behavior is. Now, Tato, how does motivation theories influence job attitudes and behaviors?
Now let's talk motivation. We all know that a motivated employee is a productive one, but the why behind the motivation is what actually matters. There's a theory by Abraham Maslow, who's a psychologist. The theory is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and it tells us that people has needs from basic survival needs to self-actualization needs. And if you're worried about your job security, you're not thinking about innovation.
I like that, Tato. And Herzberg two-factor theory is key here. It says that removing dissatisfaction, like fixing poor working conditions, doesn't actually or automatically make people motivated. True motivation comes from factors like recognition, achievement, and meaningful work.
Then there's the McLaren's theory, which focuses on three needs: achievement, power, and affiliation. At Google, for example, engineers driven by achievement thrive when given independence to innovate. Like their 20% time policy that produced Gmail and Google Maps.
So you're telling me that motivations and they just theory, they also guide companies how to design jobs and also reward system. And the last one I think it's the career path to keep people engaged as well.
Yeah. Well, the influence of perception in decision making and judgment. Perception is powerful. It's how we interpret the world around us, but it's subjective, influenced by our background, emotions, and expectations.
That's right, Muzi. In the workplace, this can make or break fairness. Take for instance, imagine an employee being labeled as lazy because they are bad. Isn't that crazy?
How so?
Take for instance Buntle. Buntle is a very quiet person, reserved, doesn't talk much. Does it necessarily make her a lazy person?
No, it doesn't.
That's a misperception. And that can, in the workplace, that can hurt the morale of the employees, cause conflict, and sometimes lead to bad decisions.
Common biases like stereotyping, level of effect, and selective perception distort judgment. The good news, training in unconscious bias and promoting self-awareness can help. When decisions are based on evidence rather than assumptions, workplaces become more equitable.
Exactly. Better perception it leads to better what is this
Decision making.
Yes. Which means that fair promotions, and also smart hiring, and also healthier team dynamics as well.
I like that, Simpiwe. Well, linking individuals to the workplace, person, job, and person organization fit. Tell us more about that topic.
Now, Muzi and Crow. Now, in the workplace, even if you have the right motivation and fair decision-making skills, there's still a lingering question: is it the right person for the job? You know? In the workplace, there's two types of fits. There's a person-job fit and a person-organization fit. The person-job fit, it's when the skills and abilities of an individual matches the demands of the job. And then the person-organization fit is when the personality and values of the individual align with the company's culture.
Thank you for explaining such in short. When there is a strong fit, employees feel recognized and valued. That boosts motivation and job satisfaction. Headsback recognition factor comes into play here. People who feel appreciated for their unique qualities tend to stay longer and perform better.
Oh, there's a research about that conducted by Robinson's that shows that satisfied employees often credit themselves, meaning they feel personally connected to their success. That connection comes from being in a role and an organization that fits.
And when the fit is high, the perception between an employer and employee improves. Because with that, there's also mutual growth in the business and everything just aligns correctly.
So today we have seen how organizational behavior concepts from understanding behavior to applying motivation theories to managing perceptions and ensuring job fit all connect.
It's like building a puzzle. Every piece matters. And when they all fit, it creates a workplace where everyone wants to be at.
And where organizations can truly thrive.
Thanks for listening, guys. And also remember, great work just don't happen.
They are
Yeah.
built
Built
on
on
understanding
understanding
people. That's it for today's episode of Inside the Workplace. Join us next time as we explore more what drives success at work. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, keep shining.